Richard, my first question is about how Inspire Others came to be, and kind of how you came up with the idea in the first place.
Yeah, well, we were working together with a particular client, a client with a very severe brain injury, quite a few years down the line. It was very clear that that client couldn't go back to work. It was very much kind of a rehab sort of mode of doing things, of therapy sessions. But it was really hard for us to think how to kind of move them out beyond that, maybe into some voluntary work. And I remember talking with this client about voluntary options, and they said, well, why do I want to do that? Voluntary work, just a crappy job. So all those other things we tried to kind of explore with them, and the occupational therapists went into different settings with them. It just wasn't getting the buy-in from them. And at the same time, they were doing really inspiring things. They were told they'd never run again, and they'd done a sport relief mile to raise money for charity. And so I guess with the whole team, we're all feeling very stuck. To find for me, when I'm feeling stuck, then some creativity comes. And I was asleep. I was having a dream about it in the early hours of the morning, in that kind of creative REM sleep time. And my mind just came up with the name Inspire Others, set up a website to share inspiring stories after brain injury. And I just woke up that morning with just a lot of energy. I think I found possible domain names, and found that inspireothers.org.uk was free, and registered for that. And then I emailed all the colleagues who I value working with to see if they would be interested in getting involved. And then I had the moment thinking, everyone's going to think this is a rubbish idea or a crazy idea. What's Richard on about? But luckily you and a few other great colleagues came back and said they would be really interested. When I first qualified, I worked with a great speech and language therapist, Emma Gale, who was very much into project-based rehab. And also for me, using acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT, where it really gets you to kind of be aware of your values and what's important to you. And for me, creativity is a really important value. So these things all came together with this idea for developing this website and co-creating it with other therapists and co-creating it with clients. That collaboration is really important to me.
The kind of project just grew and grew out of that idea that you had, but it never felt overwhelming, that we just had meetings here and there, and not everyone could join every meeting, but there was always 2 or more people there that could action things. Slowly, it grew to the point that it launched. 18 months, wasn't it, from idea to launch?
Wasn't, having a really clear idea, clear plan right from the start. It was finding our way through it, because we've never done this before. I'm trained in something called prosocial, which is about helping small groups work really well together. I used a few things from that, in particular the ACT matrix, which kind of really gets you to be in touch with what matters to you, your why for doing it, and then being aware of all of the difficult stuff that's going to come up as well, and make those tiny steps towards what matters. And we're flexible with it as well. We're understanding that we're all volunteering our time in this.
What we're doing in this project is similar to what we do with our clients when we're a team around a client, working through their rehab with them.
Yeah, the website is like building a new life, regenerating people after brain injury, because you can't go back to what life was like before. There are still things that really matter to them, their values, and it's just creating the context for them to be able to put those values into action. And what I love about values is that there's a million different ways you can express something, and it is taking a step into the unknown. But try that out, and then if it works, you keep on going with it. I remember just doing one of the the first blogs for our client. Never written a blog with a client before, I had no idea how to do it. I had to keep reminding the client each session why we were doing it, what Inspire Others was. And I just started playing around with things, just collecting some pictures that they got, sharing them on the screen, and then just getting them to come up with some words to go with the pictures. And eventually, over time, that just started to really work. They were motivated with it. They were becoming assertive in what they wanted in the blog. It's been kind of all of us stepping into an uncertain place.
I don't know about you, but sometimes this can be a bit of a lonely way of working. You don't have a office space to go back to chat through with colleagues like you do when you work in hospitals or rehab centres. It's been something really nice about taking time to be with you and the other people on the project to work on something like this, because usually we're quite intensely working with clients and meetings are about clients and goals and things, but to do something completely different with colleagues has been really lovely.
And for me, it's been really important how we've met as well. Do a settling in exercise at the beginning of every meeting, which I don't do with like normal MDT meetings, and just kind of recognizing our own needs in the process. We're all new to doing this. We all don't have a clue about it. We're all finding our way, and we're really supportive of each other, very kind, compassionate and caring of one another. It's not just the project of the website, it's kind of the impact that the project has on the people involved in it, the clients, but also us as therapists, for our way of working, as well as, the wider community out in the world as well. There's something that keeps us going. There's this energy around it that keeps us coming back and wanting to be involved and just, being a part of it still.